Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I hope this video finds all of you doing very well wherever you are in the world. And if you'll permit me, please let me say from the bottom of my heart, 축하합니다. So now is Monday, February 10th, 2020 here in Tokyo. And during the day today, Monday, because of the time difference, around lunchtime or so, maybe a little bit later, I had received a little alert through my iPhone telling me or indicating to me that Parasite, the film Parasite, won all these great awards at the Academy Awards ceremony in Los Angeles, California, in the United States, which is a remarkable thing. Absolutely remarkable. You know, I admit that I am not the strongest expert when it comes to Academy Awards. I don't follow the Academy Awards. Because of, I mentioned this before, but I don't follow the award season that closely because of pragmatic reasons, in the sense that I'm not able to watch all of the films in time to be able to directly participate in many of these predictions and all that sort of fun stuff, you know. So I can't necessarily comment on any of the films. I had only seen Parasite quite recently, in fact, last month in January, simply because the film hadn't opened here in Tokyo on a sort of somewhat wide release in theaters until January 2020. So I didn't necessarily have the opportunity to see it until quite late in the game, and which was a shame because it was something that I was really keen on watching for some time, but it was just not possible for me. But I did see it in the theater here in Tokyo, and I thought it was brilliant. I mentioned it in a maybe past video, I think, that I felt like my mind had been blown. And the Blu-ray from the United States summarily arrived in the mail, and I saw the film again on Blu-ray quite recently. And I was so amazed how well it holds up. It really holds up brilliantly. Horrifying, chilling, hilarious, ludicrous, absurd, and ultimately really a sight to behold. A sight to behold. You know, I was alerted to a great online review that was given by the film critic Mark Kermode. And I always like what Mark Kermode says. I don't always agree with what he says, but you know, I think it would be a very boring place. The world would be a very boring place indeed if we all agreed on everything at the exact same time, you know. But I really admire and respect what he does for the film critic community and for the film fan community. And he really has a wonderful way of expressing what it is he feels about certain works of art. And I really loved his description about this film, and I hadn't really thought about it until I'd heard his description of it, which was this has a really real world immediacy to it on the one hand, and yet at the same time it has proportions of an epic scale that feel Shakespearean. And when I heard that, something clicked, and it was like that was such a keen insight into this work, and I just was quite taken with that particular description, among many other great descriptions that he has in his, I think, YouTube. It's his review, which you can find on YouTube, where he talks with Simon Mayo about this film. So this film had been on my radar, and I was very fortunate to catch up with it, and I was very happy that I was able to catch up with it. But that's all that I was thinking about it, at least during the recent days. As I said, I wasn't really aware of the Academy Awards races necessarily. I don't even recall. I can't recall from memory all the Academy Award nominees for Best Picture, because there's so many of them, and so I can't quite remember them, and I don't usually keep track because, as I say, I haven't seen all the films, and also they're broadcast during the day here on a weekday, and so I can't necessarily watch the broadcast or anything like that. So all these considerations usually mean that I don't watch the awards show. And I haven't done so for several years, but I usually read the news after the fact just to see what won and what happened and all that stuff. So I know kind of what happens with the Academy Awards and such, but that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge. So even now, I don't speak as an Academy Awards historian or expert, or I don't speak as a South Korean cinema expert or anything like that. But I'm talking as maybe from my own position, which is a very distant, generalized position with respect to this particular situation. And with that in mind, I still so strongly acknowledge what a big deal this is. This is a really big deal. And congratulations to Bong Joon-ho and for his many wins, right, and also for the cast and crew. Also, Bong Joon-ho won for Best Original Screenplay together with Han Jin-won, so that's really wonderful. So it was Best Original Screenplay, Best International Film, Best Director, and Best Picture for this film, Parasite. So this is, I think, I'm so happy for people who have championed this film from the very beginning. I'm so happy for fans of Bong Joon-ho. I am so happy for fans of South Korean cinema, and I'm so happy for South Korea as well. I'm this is so wonderful, really wonderful moment, and I hope that everyone has a chance to celebrate it and to enjoy the moment, because this is really great. I get this discussion that is had sometimes about how maybe the Academy Awards are not relevant, or who remembers the Academy Award winners after 5 years or so, or something like that. Are the Academy Award winners really worthy of being named Best Picture, something like that? The great films haven't gotten Academy Awards and all that. I know this. I hear this conversation, and I can appreciate those conversations that have been had with respect to Academy Awards shows and awards decisions made throughout the history of the Academy Awards. I mean, it's part of being a film fan in a way, right? But there's something very special about this film having won all the awards categories that it did, because it feels like that, and of course, time will tell if what I'm about to say is true or not, right? But it does feel like this is a real moment, and that this is a film that will really be remembered and will have such longevity, excuse me. It will have such longevity, and it might be so remembered such that maybe, as great as this moment is, and I still acknowledge that it's a great moment, maybe this film will be considered to be so great that its greatness will be so great that it won't necessarily need to rely on its Academy Award wins to still be considered a great work, if you know what I mean. It'll be great that it'll have those accolades under its belt, of course, don't get me wrong. I I really believe that. But this is like a shining moment, and as someone who is not an expert in South Korean cinema, as I have acknowledged many times, as someone who is not really an expert in every single facet of South Korean cinema, I still acknowledge how big a deal this is, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy for South Korean cinema, for South Korea, for Bong Joon-ho, for Han Jin-won, and for people who have loved this cinema for many years, and who have supported, who have given their time, their energy, and money to this, and who have really just seen it grow and develop. And also, by extension, this is a great moment for Asian cinema as a whole. I think it's so. It's such a beautiful time, and I am just so much in respect. I have so much respect for this particular work and what it has achieved. So I acknowledge that this is a really big deal. This is a very big deal. And so I'm just so happy for Parasite film lovers, and Bong Joon-ho film lovers, and South Korean film lovers, and for South Korea, and also for Asian cinema in general. I'm just so happy, and just once again, from my heart, please let me say to all of you who have championed this film and who have loved this film, thank you, and congratulations, 축하합니다. Really well deserved. Bravo to Parasite, and thank you for giving me this recommendation. Many people, as I said in a previous video, over the course of several months came to me in comments, and this film was mentioned more than any other film as far as people recommending this film to me to watch. So I want to thank all of you who did that. And I'm just so happy I was able to catch this film when I did, and I'm once again I'm just so happy, and I want to say thank you very much, and once again congratulations, well deserved. So just wanted to let you know about that. So anyway, thank you very much, and I will be back hopefully very soon. But in the meantime, my friends, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great movies. So until we meet again, my friends, cheers.